So let's talk about the absorption and action spectra. Let's read about it. The photosynthetic pigment absorbs electromagnetic radiation, and they absorb electromagnetic radiation in visible region as well as infrared region. Okay, so the electromagnetic radiations of the visible region as well as the infrared region are absorbed by the photosynthetic pigments. A graph which shows degree of absorption of light by the pigment as a function of wavelength. That graph is known as absorption spectrum. Okay, so absorption spectrum is a graph. Is a graph which shows the degree of absorption of light. Okay, this absorption of light is done by a pigment, and this graph is showing the degree of absorption as a function of wavelength. So that graph is your absorption spectrum. So your absorption spectrum just shows you the degree of absorption of light. The chlorophyll absorbs strongly the blue-violet region and the red region of the electromagnetic spectrum, and carotenoids absorbs strongly the blue region and the green region of the electromagnetic spectrum. For chlorophyll, it is blue-violet region and red region, whereas for carotenoids, it is blue region and green region. The graph which shows the degree of different wavelength affecting the photochemical reaction, that graph is known as action spectrum of the photosynthesis. Now different wavelengths will affect differently the photochemical reaction. Okay, different wavelengths like 400 nanometer will affect differently a particular photochemical reaction, and a wavelength of 5 nanometer will affect differently the photochemical reaction. That is very obvious. So a graph which represents this, that graph is known as the action spectrum of the photosynthesis. In oxygenic photosynthetic organism, the photochemical reaction is performed by the pigment chlorophyll A. So chlorophyll A is that pigment which is performing the photochemical reaction in oxygenic photosynthetic organisms. Now the wavelength which is most effectively absorbed by the chlorophyll A pigment, that wavelength is most effective in driving the photochemical reaction. So it means that chlorophyll A absorbs that wavelength which is required to drive the photochemical reaction. The action spectrum for the photosynthesis can be constructed by the measurements of oxygen evolution at different wavelength in oxygenic photosynthetic organisms. Okay, you are creating action spectrum by measurement of oxygen evolution at different wavelengths. Action spectrum is simply is the graph which represents the rate of photosynthesis at different wavelengths. Now, how can you construct the action spectrum? What is the method for it? Now the thing is that the oxygen is the end product of the photosynthesis, like it is a byproduct of the photosynthesis. I'm sorry. So the more photosynthesis is there, the more oxygen evolution is there. Okay, that's the thing. So you can determine the rate of photosynthesis by determining the rate of evolution of oxygen. That is simple. So what you do is you determine the rate of evolution of oxygen at different wavelengths, and the data of this rate of evolution of oxygen, the measurements, are used to construct the action spectrum. That is how it is done. So this is your action spectrum that we were talking about. So here you can see different wavelengths are there, and for a particular pigment we are considering the absorbance at different wavelengths. So in this region the chlorophyll B is showing a maximum absorption, and in this region the chlorophyll A is showing the maximum absorption. This is the diagram which represents action spectrum. This is what the action spectrum is all about. Now let's read about Engelsman experiment. I don't know whether I am pronouncing it right, but yeah. Action spectra relate the light absorption to the photosynthetic activity. Okay, action spectra explains the relation between the light absorption and photosynthetic activity. So in 1833, Theodore W. Engelsman determined the first absorption spectra by measuring the oxygen evolution at different wavelength of light. So yeah, the oxygen evolution at different wavelength of light just represents the rate of photosynthesis at different wavelength of light, and that is the absorption spectra which was determined by Theodore W. Engelsman. So how he determined the first action spectra? What was the experiment? What he did is he illuminated the spirogyra. He took spirogyra. Spirogyra is a filamentous green alga. He illuminated this spirogyra with white light. Okay, he passed this white light through a prism and then illuminated the spirogyra, and he exposed the different segments of this spirogyra, of this filamentous alga, with different wavelengths of light. Okay, the different segments of the filamentous alga were exposed to different wavelengths of light. That was the experiment. So different segments were exposed to different wavelengths. After that, he used anaerobic oxygen seeking bacteria. He put those anaerobic oxygen seeking bacteria, and this anaerobic oxygen seeking bacteria concentrate near the oxygen source. Okay, so this bacteria will indicate the oxygen source. Okay, and by this he determined which segment of the alga is releasing most of oxygen, and thus he determined which segment of the alga is photosynthesizing the most. Okay, which segment of the alga is showing the most photosynthetic activity was determined by using anaerobic oxygen seeking bacteria. The property of this anaerobic oxygen seeking bacteria is that they concentrate near the oxygen source. So different parts of the alga were exposed to different wavelengths of light, and the oxygen seeking bacteria concentrated near the sites of oxygen release. At the sites where there is release of oxygen, at those sites the oxygen seeking bacteria just concentrated, and that is how it was determined where the photosynthesis is occurring most by observing this oxygen seeking bacteria. So the observation was that the bacteria concentrated in great numbers at those parts of alga which were illuminated with blue or red light. Okay, so it just implies that at blue or red light more oxygen is produced by the alga, which implies that at blue or red wavelength the alga is showing maximum photosynthesis. So when blue light or red light were exposed to alga, the alga showed maximum photosynthesis by releasing maximum amount of oxygen. So this is the result of Engelsman experiment, that at blue light or red light the alga shows maximum photosynthesis. So this is your schematic diagram for the Engelsman experiment. So what happened, what is experiment is all about? Okay, you take white light, you take prism, you split that white light into the this spectrum of visible light, and this is your spirogyra. Now this spirogyra is exposed to different wavelength of light: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. And so at red region the oxygen evolution was maximum, and at blue region the oxygen evolution was maximum, and that is the reason why the oxygen seeking bacteria adhered at the red region and at the blue region in the most number. Okay, so this represents that at red wavelength and at blue wavelength there is maximum release of oxygen, which implies that there is maximum rate of photosynthesis at red region and at blue region as well. This is what the Engelsman experiment is all about. So thank you for reading with Muffin.